Okay, so the title of this movie alone is just weird and expecting weird stuff. And this one is about a head, and it's kind of disturbing. Let's get into it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Shudder's new movie called Daddy's Head. And yeah, what the hell did I just watch? The movie just came out, and you can watch it on Shudder, so if you want to check it out yourself, you can. If you have a subscription, I think it's even on AMC+. So this movie was directed by Benjamin Barfoot, who actually has done another directorial debut, which was Double Date. It was about serial killers, and it was kind of a comedy, a dark humor. But this is technically his first writing feature film, so his second feature film altogether. So Daddy's Head is a story about a young boy who has lost his father. His stepmother or girlfriend mom of the dad is basically taking care of him, and he has no next of kin. So they're sort of forced into a situation where the girlfriend of his father is trying to take care of him, and he's mourning the loss of his dad and doesn't know what to do with his life. When a strange creature from God knows where inhabits the forest and befriends the boy, things get pretty fucking weird, especially when it takes the form of his father's head. So yeah, this movie is bananas. Like, it is very different than I've seen in a lot of different movies. They do some things in this movie that I was not expecting. They subvert quite a few tropes in this movie, which is amazing. And sometimes it's kind of cold and real. Like, the fact that this woman has to live with this child who the child never really kind of acclimated with. Usually when you see stuff like this in a movie, it's like, oh, we're gonna stick together, and it's like this whole thing. No, they do something different with this movie, and they make it a more of an awkward kind of situation, which I thought was kind of unique and fresh. And they also do some other things in this movie that's not the only choice that they do in this movie that is new and original. This is a movie that I can't necessarily tell you what the genre is, but in the same regard, they don't necessarily tell you either. I can tell you that for people who are not into slow movies, this is going to be a very, very slow burn. One that I personally think pays off, but it's going to be a very slow burn. It is incredibly creepy and incredibly dark and incredibly different than I've seen in many films. The whole parent passing away and then the significant other having to take care of a child is nothing new. But the way they handle it here, like I said, very different. This movie is not a gore fest of any kind, but it is kind of weird and fleshy and just unsettling. I don't know how to explain it more than that. It is a good tale. It is definitely within horror, although it could be another genre. I just can't say what that genre is or what I think it might be, but you guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen the film. The amount of time that it took from the beginning of the movie to the end feels like a lot, and it's done to establish a mood and an atmosphere, which this movie does in barrels and barrels of atmosphere. But some of the people are going to be turned away by the slow pacing of this movie, and it's just the way it is, and that's understandable. Some people just don't have the patience. I had the patience, but it did definitely try me a little bit. I still like where I ended up enough to say that I would probably rewatch this movie. It is creepy as hell, and I think they did a really good job of kind of doing something different for a change, which really kind of means a lot to me in the industry right now, specifically because we're getting so many crazy movies, and it's just good to see something new and unique and not just like a retake. And that's also it. It is a very unique film, but there's parts of me that while watching this film, I just wanted it to go so much further. I wanted to get so much more into the creature, and I wanted so much more of the creature to do so much more to this film. I feel like it just didn't take enough risks. Even if it is a very unique and awesome film, it still felt like it was missing something about it that would have really pushed it through the stratosphere and broken that ceiling. It does have a few flaws here and there, but the acting and the camera work and the music and the sound and all of that are spot on, especially some of the sound effects that they use in this movie, it really adds to it. In fact, there was a moment in this movie that just fucking scared the shit out of me. It wasn't necessarily a jump scare at all, but it just spooked the hell out of me, and I was just not prepared for it. Definitely think this is a movie that you need to watch to really kind of know for yourself if this is something for you. It is so specifically different that it might not be for some people, but I think the majority of people will have a decent feeling about it. Whether they love it or not, that's going to be up in the air. I do like the quality of this film. I think it was made well. I just wasn't 100% on board with how long it took to get there, and you know, I did like the ending, but it just wasn't everything that I was hoping for. I kind of wanted it to go really batshit crazy, and they give you nice glimpses of some batshit crazy. But yeah, I would love to hear what you think. Have you seen the movie yet? It's up on Shudder, so you can check it out, watch it, see what you think of this movie right now if you'd like to check it out. I would give this movie probably about a 6.5 or 7. I'm leaning more 7 out of 10 total out of this whole movie. It does a lot right, and it just doesn't break through the atmosphere for me particularly. I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I've had a lot of stuff going on in the background that have kind of like shifted things around a little bit. So I'm kind of in the process of rearranging my studio and fixing things. So thank you for supporting the channel here. If you've missed any videos, please go back and check them out, because it really does help me and the algorithm to reach more people like yourself. I'm going to be a niche channel for most parts because I like to dig through piles of it, not just talk about the same movie over and over and over again on this channel. So I'm more about discovering films than I am about just kind of like talking them into the ground, which is totally fine. I have no problem with, you know, we should celebrate the things that we like. I just like to kind of find new stuff all the time so I can get you guys some of the new stuff too. But let me know what you think about Daddy's Head in the comments section down below. Did this movie spook you out a little bit? Does it have something to say? Yeah, thanks so much for coming by, guys. And as always, long live the void.